Hi guys, I've got my blanket with leaves and shit on it, and I'm wrapped up in it because I'm by the fire, and I'm so cozy right now, and I'm dying of cancer, but I am drinking hot chocolate because this is V.I.M.P, the very important movie podcast with Sean, Darian, and Jaden. I'm Sean.
I'm Darian.
I'm Jaden.
This is another completely unnecessary movie podcast, but it's about very necessary movies. And here's the deal: we take turns picking the movies that we love with the hopes that the others will love them too, or at least not tear our family apart and ruin Christmas forever. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Stepmom. That is the movie that we were doing, and Darian picked it and is inflicting this upon the world right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Please explain to us and our listeners why you picked this movie.
I mean, to be honest, it's not like one of my favorite movies in the entire world. But when we decided that we wanted to do fall-themed movies, I did think of this one. And you gotta admit, that was a fucking fall movie. I want 5 crispy fall leaves for this fucking movie. Because the
Maybe.
fall vibes were everywhere. The
Not
trees.
for only about from minute 51 is when the first fall leaf showed up
No.
until
Okay.
Christmas. There was fall leaves.
But one of the first lines in this movie is "Beautiful autumn day in the city." So there's
Maybe,
that.
but everywhere they went until minute 51 was green as shit.
What
It was the most green,
ever?
rolling, beautiful hills, green trees. Everything was so green. It looked
You're
like a
just
beautiful summer
you're just a hater because your movie didn't have a single fall leaf in it. Not even one.
because it was so fall that they didn't even have leaves.
That's winter.
I saw all the colors. I saw green, I saw red, I saw orange, I saw yellow. I heard the crunch.
I'm
I
not
heard
gonna
crunchies.
I'm not gonna argue with you that it's not a fall movie because it's mostly a fall movie, but it does take a while to get into the fall of the whole thing.
I also feel like there's that warm family feel. It makes you think of the
Yeah.
holidays.
Yeah,
So
dying of cancer probably raises your temperature. So
whoa, no spoiling the movie. We're just getting started. But yeah, so when we decided that we wanted to do fall movies, I just thought of this one because it's such a fall movie. And I was like, you know what? I really enjoyed that movie when I watched it. And so I picked it.
when did you watch it and why? I'm curious as to, did you watch this as a little kid
No.
for some reason, or is this like something that you watched later on in life?
The shade.
I know the shade is
No,
so
no, I'm just curious as to
crazy.
Did you
No,
like
I
this
watched
because you
it
were a
like
child?
no, I meant
or
like
did you have a poor memory of this movie? Did you think it
that's
was
not that's not what I'm saying. I'm
No.
saying that did you watch it when it was on when you were like 6 or 7 when it first probably came out
Did you
on
watch it
DVD
before
and
your
shit?
brain developed?
It was the first movie I ever saw in theaters in 1998 when it was released. So
No, you're a liar. That's not true.
I was only three.
I know. I mean, you might have gone. I didn't know you then, so it's possible that you did see this in theaters. I suppose. I don't know if that's a core memory.
We met soon thereafter. No, I watched it for the first time like a year ago. And it was just
Oh,
one of
okay.
those nights where Hayden and I were scrolling through movies trying to figure out what to watch. And he was like, "Oh, like, have you ever seen this movie, Stepmom?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "It's pretty good. Let's watch it." I was like, "Okay." That was
Weird.
it.
What a weird thing for someone to pick.
Mm.
I mean, it's fine. We'll get to it later. I
I
mean,
think I
I'm
think
not
I'm
shitting on this movie, but I didn't know this. I've never heard of this movie. And this is an indication of how good we had it back then. Is this movie made $160 million in 1998, or probably most of it in 99 because it came out on Christmas Day 98. And I didn't know that it existed. It's not like I was like, oh, that Stepmom movie's out and it looks like a chick flick and I don't want to see it. Never even don't know of his existence. And it made $160 million. So people just go to movies back then.
I knew it
They did.
existed before I watched it.
How?
I
Was it
didn't.
on
I don't
Netflix
know.
or
It
something?
always, when people would post, like, I don't know, I guess I watched a lot of cozy fall TikToks and they would always talk about this and When Harry Met Sally and
Mm.
Riding cars
I
with boys.
also, before I saw it for the first time, I definitely saw the scene of Jackie and the kids dancing in her room. I feel like that's kind of a
Mm-hmm.
popular scene. I've seen clips of that.
Yeah.
You guys are on a different internet than me.
I didn't watch it until 2 years ago.
I'm on Fall Talk.
Oh. Well, that makes sense. I'm trying to figure out. I'm looking at the information, the Wikipedia, and one of the producers is Mark Radcliffe. And I'm trying to figure out if that's Daniel Radcliffe's dad, and that's how Daniel Radcliffe got to be Harry Potter in the first Harry
100%.
Potter movie. Because Chris
100%.
Columbus was the director of the.
Yeah, Christopher Columbus directed this
Yeah.
movie. Fun fact, very fall, very Thanksgiving. So
I mean,
that's why I picked
I'm
it.
not. I'm
Just
only
further
pointing out that it
establishing.
took 51 minutes to become fall and Thanksgiving. I'm not arguing that it doesn't have a shit ton of fall stuff in it. It 100% does. So it's definitely more of a traditional fall movie than the Phantom Thread was. I'm not gonna argue this point with
It's
you.
just Phantom Thread. It's not the.
I know, but you can say the in front of things.
I know. I'm just giving you shit.
I'm just not capitalizing it. In my mind, it hasn't been capitalized. I'm spending way too much time trying to figure out Daniel Radcliffe's dad is the. Nothing says is never mind. Who cares? Somebody write in, let us know, leave a comment. I want to know. But I watched this movie twice. I started it and then I kind of fell asleep for a few minutes and then woke up and finished it last night. But I wasn't taking notes because I was planning on watching it again today and taking notes. But then I had ended up having to go to work. So I watched it later, right before we started recording. Still didn't take notes, but because I was busy doing something important.
Too busy for the pad. For the pod. The pad.
I was driving.
So you're saying this isn't important?
If the movie was on my dash and I was watching it as I was driving.
Taking notes, watching the movie while driving.
Don't tell anyone. But
I'm sending this.
I have thoughts. So let's get into this. Let's break it down, y'all. It's a Columbia movie. When your sister was really young, whenever a Columbia movie came on, she thought that the Columbia lady was your mom.
Which like Adeline?
Yes. She would go, is that mom? It kind of looks like her.
Okay. In the craziest way, and I could be so way off. I kind of feel like mom looks a little bit like Susan Sarandon. Like if mom was older and had red hair. I kind of see it.
I suppose. But I'm talking about the lady that's holding the thing wearing the.
I know.
Okay.
But I'm also saying she kind of looks like her too.
I wonder how old Susan Sarandon was in this movie. Born in 46.
She was born in 46?
Yeah, so she was 58, 52?
Yeah. I was going to say, if mom was like 20 years older and had red hair, I could see it.
Brother's 45, so 46.
Oh. Wow. Yeah.
She wouldn't need to be 20 years older, is all I'm saying. They're almost the same age, but I digress.
I'm not. Anyway.
What started off? Start talking.
Me started? Okay. Oh, yeah, because you didn't take notes. So we open up to some shots of the city. Guy on the radio saying, wow, it's a beautiful autumn day in the city, establishing that it is fall. And we see Isabel, who's played by Julia Roberts. She is oversleeping. We get a little view of her alarm clock. And she wakes up suddenly, realizes what time it is, and panics because she has to get the kids, Anna and Ben, up and ready for school. She kind of establishes that Luke, who's the kid's dad, had to leave for work early that morning, and she is scrambling.
That's one of... Okay, so just to get it all out the front door, this movie, through the whole entire thing, but really in the first 45 minutes, every single thing that happens plot-wise is so ridiculous and so convoluted and so unrealistic, and everybody's doing things that make absolutely no sense, that it was driving me completely insane. Once it finally settled into everything, it did get a lot better, but But let's talk about it. So the very first thing is, why are the things that are happening at the beginning happening like that?
Like, what do you mean?
Why isn't she set up more? Why isn't she set up more for success? She seems like a pretty successful person in life. And how does
Yeah.
she it's like they just have people do unrealistic stuff all throughout this movie just to make it happen because they need the thing to happen, but they don't justify, and they make
Mhm.
weird choices that don't make sense, and people get mad about things for no reason, and everything that happens, it makes absolutely no sense to me, like over and over and over again, and it was driving me completely insane. But I
Okay.
did miss the very beginning part because mine started playing in Italian, so it was an Italian guy, radio guy talking, so I didn't realize that it said it was an autumn. And then by the time I got it switched over, I didn't rewind it, so I
Yeah.
didn't know. I didn't know, guys.
Um, I think it was trying to establish that she is not someone that's ever had to care about anyone other than herself. And her job as a photographer, like, she works, she does gigs. So she's not going to an office every morning where she has to be up by like 6:30 and ready and showered and good to go for work. Like, she just worries about herself. And so now there's kids that have to be, up and to school by 8 o'clock. It's 7:44, and she's
Oh,
like,
I oh,
like,
I know
I don't think
exactly
that's
what they're doing.
unrealistic.
I know why they're doing these things because they do need to
Hmm.
establish all that, but it doesn't make sense in the context of the movie because
I don't understand how it doesn't make sense.
because she is it would have made more sense if she was like the young girl that he left her for, who's like an irresponsible like party girl or something. This movie would make a lot more sense if that's the type that she was in the movie. Because everything that she does at the beginning is the stereotype of like a ditzy, irresponsible like party girl that the dad left the mom for. But in
Yeah.
every other way, like she is a responsible like adult who went to college and has a career and is responsible in every way, except for she just has to do dumb irresponsible shit to move the conflict forward for everybody to get mad and for all these things to happen. They're going off a checklist of like bad mom, or like, the original mom doesn't like her because XYZ. Nothing about her character makes you believe that she would be this bad at everything she's doing, if that makes sense.
I think that she's just you can be responsible but be bad with kids and things like that, especially if you've never had to deal with that. And you never want she even
Yeah.
says she never wanted to have kids. So
Yeah,
it's
and
not
I think
even
it
something she thinks
it
about.
is implied as well that she is younger than the dad. She's clearly not like 20, but like
Well, I
she's
know she's
younger.
definitely younger, but she's like the best photographer at an advertising firm in New York
Yeah, but
with
what does
a
that have to do
with
with
a nice
raising kids?
car. I'm not saying that she would be good at interpersonal relationships with the kids necessarily, but she would know how to do some laundry. She would know how to get up in the morning. She would know how to do regular life shit. Whereas in this movie, she's in that apartment. She is the biggest moron in the entire world and seems like the stupidest person who's ever lived.
I feel like she just gets flustered and overwhelmed by having to take care of children that she never wanted. I think that's what it is. I agree that throughout this movie there's a lot of things that don't make any sense, but I don't think that's one of them.
I also think that, it's shown that she cares about her career so much and it is her life. And I feel like that's why, like, later they talk about how there's piles of laundry and it's like she's not thinking about that. She's not thinking about that it's purple shirt day tomorrow. She's thinking about work and she's thinking about, her relationship, and like she's kind of like selfish in a way in the beginning. So she's just not thinking about them like that.
I mean, I get that's exactly the point. I get what they're going for. I just think they're unsuccessfully mixing things together. I read that it had a whole bunch of different writers on it all at the same
Mm.
time. That
Mhm.
it's like one guy is writing this part, another guy is writing this part, and they just didn't mesh well together. Or
I feel
like,
like you're being nitpicky about that.
well, no, I'm just trying to get out the vibe of that was what I was thinking through the whole movie, is like just things were incongruent and they didn't feel like vibe wise, they weren't meshing together, like character wise and the actions that were happening. I just felt like, why would this be happening and why would she be acting this way? And it just seems like people were just getting mad or doing things for out of
I
what I felt like their character would be doing.
I get what you're saying. I think you're being nitpicky, but I do get what you're saying.
Well, I'm definitely being nitpicky. It's a podcast. We have to have something to talk about. So
Okay. But we find out, she's trying to get them together. She can't find Ben. It's established very early on that Ben is a magician.
well, he put a
By the
dinosaur in his
rabbit.
bed, and
The
she was so scared by the dinosaur being in the bed.
That was crazy. I was like, relax. But then there was a rabbit just roaming around in that room, and it's established early on that he's a magician. And Anna is like a preteen, and she's immediately hostile to her and gives out the vibe of what she thinks of her, pissed off that she didn't wash her purple shirt.
Yeah, and she's like, I didn't actually forget. I stayed up all night worrying about and thinking about you wouldn't wear a purple shirt. You'd wear this red shirt. It's
so
like,
full of shit.
What the? I mean, obviously she's lying, but it's just put on the dirty purple shirt. That was a dirty red shirt. She didn't get it out of the fucking closet or the drawer. She pulled it out of a pile of laundry. Why can't she wear the dirty purple shirt? Like, who sends the kid to be the one outlier? I don't know. It was all just rubbing me the wrong way, and I was getting so mad from the very beginning. But they have a huge argument, and then she's looking for the son,
and he's in the fucking cupboard.
And then
first of all, how'd he get in there? Second of all, how long was he in there?
Hours.
And third of all, that cackle that came out of him when she found him, crazy. This kid's on crack.
I immediately wanted this kid to be sent into the depths of hell. Like, melt him down. Don't burn him, melt him.
He is crazy.
An evil, satanic child.
Yeah.
I did not care for him.
Did
all.
Not like his vibe.
Through the entire movie, nothing about him. He was the one. Everybody else, Susan Sarandon and Ed Harris and Julia Roberts and the little girl, for the most part, were really good.
Yeah, she's that girl in the Hunger Games.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen those except for the first one, the first 45.
You haven't seen all of them?
I've seen the first 2/3 of the first one.
I used to be the biggest Hunger Games hater, and then I watched them all, and I love them now.
No, I bought the whole box set on 4K Steelbooks box set to watch with Adeline, and we got through the first 2/3 of the first one, and she's like, "I can't watch this anymore. It's making me feel too bad, but too emotional." So we had to turn it off. It's making her feel too emotional. So we had to.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, we'll come back to it later when you're a little older. But
okay,
I liked it. Good. I liked it more than I thought I would. But
she's in the second one.
Okay, that's what I recognize from like some other TV show. I think she was on in the 2000s. But for the most part, I really had no problem with all the acting. It was mostly the words that were coming out of their mouth that I was having a problem with. But not even so much that, just the scenarios and their motivations. Just nothing felt earned or making sense. And then there was just things that just were straight up like nonsense as far as like what is happening, what is going on. I don't understand. Yeah, but we'll get to them as they come along.
Okay, so then she kind of starts wrestling with Ben, trying to get him to change. And then Jackie, who's Susan Sarandon, shows up at the front door. She's Luke's ex-wife, the mother of the children, and she is very overprotective of them and kind of a perfectionist. And you can tell immediately that she really strongly disapproves of Isabel. She thinks she's immature and irresponsible, which she is. So she sees Isabel wrestling with Ben, and she's like, I'll take it from here, and swoops the kids away from her to take them to school. And you see Isabel looking a little defeated, like, I think she says, of course you will, or I'm sure you will, or whatever. But I am like, when she said, I'll take it from here, I was like, say less. Say less, Susan.
Take these little bastards.
Take these hellions away from me. Okay?
I'm the best photographer in the entire city of New York, and I have to get to work to do important shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very irresponsible. I must leave. But they're walking down the sidewalk, and she sees the lunch that she made for them, and she just basically throws it in the trash and has a whole new lunch made for them. And then talks some shit.
Shady. she definitely talks shit about Isabella in front of the kids, you know, making comments about the laundry. And then, of course, like, she made you a lunch and she looked at it and just threw it in the garbage, making it very clear how she feels about Isabel, which obviously rubs off on the kids, especially Anna. Ben's
Yeah.
just kind of like a kid. Like, he's just kind of going with the flow and he's, you know, mischievous and everything. But Anna's the one that's really impressionable.
Yeah, he doesn't
But
actively hate her until later on in the
yeah.
later on, only because he's told to.
But I don't know if you would get this reference, Dad, but Jade, maybe you will. But Ben, like in the back seat, cackling again, like being a little fucking weirdo. He's giving Beans from Even Stevens.
Yeah.
Like that's what he reminds me of. Fucking Beans. It's like,
And you were right. I do not know what you're talking about. So,
like you gotta look up Beans, Dad. You gotta look up Beans
okay,
from Even Stevens, and you'll be like, "Yep, that's him in 10 years."
I'll look it up.
And okay, so then after this scene, you know, we're establishing.
Oh, yeah.
Did you look
Yeah,
it up?
I did. Yeah,
It reminds
for
me of
sure.
that. Okay, so after that, we see Isabel in her element as a photographer. Shows she's very career driven, confident, and good at what she does because it's that classic like, I don't know, I don't know if I trust you with this, and they're like, trust me, this is why I'm the best. Kind of that
This
whole
part was
trope.
so funny to me, how she just took one picture and then she edited him with
This whole
Photoshop or something. I was like, girl, be for real, in like 5 minutes.
this was
Mm-hmm.
madness.
It
This
was insane.
entire scene was making me go insane because I have never brought this up on the show before, but I was a semi-professional photographer for several years and did a lot of photo shoots and a lot of shit. So I know with which I speak. And first of all, she didn't have the flash set up to be on her camera. So the lighting was all weird. I mean, it wouldn't have been happening. Second of all, there's no way in hell in a million years that the catering guy would be feeding the models food. The models wouldn't be eating at all during a photo shoot. Models famously don't eat food at all because they need to be super skinny. And they're not going to eat a bunch of food in the middle of a photo shoot with their dresses on, standing on the white backdrop where they could spill food all over the place. So there's never, none of that ever would be happening at all, ever in a million years. And it was making me think I was going crazy. And then she was holding the camera wrong, totally incorrectly.
As someone who has never understood photography, this scene did not trigger any response from me.
Okay.
I was
But
like,
the
yep,
whole,
that makes sense.
but you thought it was normal that just the dude was just sitting there like feeding them like grapes and shit like on the backdrop, and they're all just hanging out like when nobody was taking pictures of them, they're just hanging out there. She wasn't there yet. She walked in.
Honestly, it
And
was
they're all
giving
that
classic.
makes
Okay, and I wrote this in my notes too. Why is every woman's career in the 90s and 2000s movies either a photographer, a designer, or a magazine editor?
or an
Because that's
architect.
all they knew how to do.
Like that was every career then. I don't is that because that's what was cool then? Like magazines and photography and you know what I mean? Like every single person. And so I was like,
Because they had to set everybody had to be way, way upper middle class or like lower high class. So
mm-hmm,
they had to have high paying jobs and in a creative field that allotted free time. That's why they
mm,
had to be able to justify why they could go and, you know, be doing everything in a movie without it seeming too ridiculous.
mm-hmm.
Because, you know, the lawyer dad, has to be gone all the time because lawyers work a lot. But if you're in the creative field, you can just take the half the day off. I mean, that does come and bite her in the ass, you know, in the end. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're in a creative field, you can blow in and be a genius and get the work done in 5 minutes and then take off to go be in the movie without it seeming too weird.
That makes sense. It's just something I've definitely noticed
Oh, for
in a
sure.
lot
It
of
was a
like
huge trope, a
90s,
huge cliche.
2000. Yeah, for sure. And that's what I was going to say. To me it was just like the classic cliche like I'm in the creative industry. I'm a photographer and this is the set and it's so crazy here and all this stuff is happening and I was just like, okay, yeah, classic.
And
anyway.
she's
Like,
the best. She's the best in this. The
of
best that he's
course,
ever worked with.
of
Even though
course,
she walks in, doesn't even move the camera. She just looks through the thing, takes some pictures. She doesn't
of
even move it
course.
around. It was, I mean, it was insane that they were already there. Like, there's no way that they would already be standing on the backdrop before she got there, hanging out. Like, it just
Yeah.
makes they would all have been sitting around being pissed and smoking cigarettes that she's not there yet, and we're wasting money. And
Mm-hmm.
then everybody would have came and got ready, and then they would have started working.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was kind of funny that I think they should have kept. He looked way better with the pictures with the striped shirt on. But I mean, I get that it's for a suit company, so they had to put the suit on. But
They must wear the suit.
Photoshop in 1997 when they made this movie was not. There's no way they could have done it that fast.
Yeah.
Just impossible.
Yeah.
But I digress. It's a movie. We have to suspend our disbelief. But if it
I
didn't
know.
bump you wrong, then I will give all that a pass. But there's more stuff about it coming up later that I want to get your take on whether or not how insane it is.
Hayden always gets pissed off at me, and I didn't really do it with this movie because, like, I realized pretty quickly with this movie that this is just maybe this wasn't the best movie to pick for the podcast because I feel like this is not a movie that you sit down and criticize. This is just a movie like you just sit down and kind of enjoy. And you just turn your brain off and you don't like worry about it making sense or whatever. But I definitely am the kind of person that nitpicks movies and plots and tropes and like I'm like that doesn't make any fucking sense. Actually, that would never happen in real life. And Hayden's always like, it's a fucking movie. Like it
Yeah.
can't make sense. And that's
I mean, you definitely get that for me because I am really bad at that and I'm trying to be better at it, this aside. And I will let a lot of things go as far as plot wise if it makes sense vibes wise. Like I don't I've kind of given up on giving a shit as long as it makes spiritual sense of why these things are happening. But
yeah.
or if the tone of the movie, it really doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like a semi-serious, real world grounded type thing about relationships. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what irks me so much about the whole thing is that it's not so much plot points that I give a shit about or that don't make sense plot wise. It's the more of the
Mm-hmm.
things they're doing that are motivationally don't make sense for the characters to be doing that are
Yeah.
irritating me throughout this movie. Aside
Yeah.
from the photo shoot thing, that's totally being nitpicky.
Yeah. But I can be nitpicky too. So I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so after this photo shoot scene, we get a scene of Luke and Jackie being called into Anna's principal's office due to Anna acting up in school. The principal's like, is there anything going on at home? And then Jackie's like super passive aggressive about Luke's new relationship with this girl and saying it's like messing with the kids. That's probably what's messing with them. And Luke's like trying to defend Isabel, but also he does explain like why Jackie's feeling the way that she feels, and I really liked the way he kind of stood up for her during that meeting. What do you think about that, Jaden?
I liked it too, but I also didn't like how he was kind of passive aggressive, I guess.
I thought he was being passive aggressive. I thought we were supposed to think that he's being like a lawyer, passive aggressive lawyer speak to make her feel like shit, like throwing it in
Yeah,
her
Yeah.
I
face.
got that, but then by her response, she seemed genuine
Yeah,
in
her
her
response seemed
response.
genuine. Her response was kind of like, "Thanks," like genuinely thank you, but like also kind of like, was that the best way to say it? But like, I think that he was kind of spot on in what he was saying, and I do feel that throughout this movie he was very level-headed, and he kind of
Yeah.
understood what was going on. Like he wasn't an idiot. He understood why Jackie was reacting to everything the way that she was. And he felt for her in that he wasn't just like, well, fuck you, Jackie. Why are you being such a bitch? Because I was definitely like that throughout the movie, especially the first time I watched it.
You didn't like
Um,
Jackie?
Not the first time I watched it.
I
Mm-mm.
liked her. I thought
I
she
was
was
like,
such a good mom. I was like, I know she shouldn't be talking shit about Isabel in front of the kids, but she's a really good mom. Like the way she was interacting with them and in the car scene when she first picked them up, how she was, I don't know, just the way she interacted with them. It was like she wasn't she wasn't acting like an asshole or anything like that.
No, I think that she was a really good mom, but she was very clearly hostile towards Isabel.
Yes,
And I
but
didn't like
then
that.
Anna said she hated her, and she's like, well, and she would never talk to her. And then she said, well, you never know. Never say never, and don't say you hate her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of the reason. That's as far as character motivations go, is everybody in this movie is for the most part being nice to everyone else. Like as far as all three parents are being nice to the kids for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's being an asshole to anyone. And everybody's being nice to each other, except for the times where they're just complete pieces of shit to each other for absolutely no reason. Like everybody's will just overreact and get mad for nothing, only for the reason is that needs to happen for the plot. They never justify it by somebody being shitty or having a reason to be so over the top mad about something, because everybody's being nice to each other, everybody's nice, and then they'll just freak out about something for no reason.
Like what?
Well, we'll get to it. I'll give you an
I
example.
think
We'll get to it later, but for some reason, Susan Sarandon makes her take the kids to a photo shoot at the park instead of getting a babysitter or a nanny, which is insane that that's happening, but they need that to happen for the next thing in the movie to happen, which is for the kid to get lost and then for her to lose her absolute shit and say that she's going to, get a lawyer and make sure that she never sees the kids again, yada, yada, yada. But it's like all of you together made the insane decision for you to go to work in Central Park for 5 hours. Everybody knows she's going to be there working. Why
I
couldn't they
think
got a babysitter? She's getting mad at her for not paying attention and the kid getting lost when
Well,
it's not like she just went to the park and lost the kid because she was not paying attention. She knew the whole time that she was going to go work and was being a very important photographer doing a very important photo shoot that with all these people there.
I was under the impression that she didn't know she was going to be taking them to work.
No, no, no. Because remember, she's like, no, because she said it's going to be fine. You're going to be at a professional photo shoot in Central
Oh, that's
Park.
true.
So she definitely knew that she was taking her to work. And
Yeah.
there's so many times where they just could have had a nanny or just got a babysitter. They just never made it a reason why any of them were putting themselves in these shitty positions that needed to happen to get to the next plot point. They just
I
need to
think,
lay a little groundwork of why any of this was happening, because there's no reason for Jackie to be so mad that this happened other than they just needed her to be mad for that to
well, I
advance the plot.
disagree. I feel like yes, it was stupid on both of their parts to take them with her to work, but from her point of view in the movie, if you're picking your child up from the police station after them being missing, you're going to overreact because it's high tension situation, and of course you're going to freak out and be yelling at whoever you can who could possibly be blamed for it. That's just what happened. And then eventually she calmed down and she was like, "Okay."
Right. What I feel like is somebody wrote out an outline of things that needed to happen, like major plot points, and Jackie getting mad and threatening to get a lawyer to make sure that she can never see the kids. And then they reverse engineered what the situation is that happened that made her feel that mad. And they just did a bad job of laying the groundwork to justify her being that mad. They could have done a little better job not making it such a silly scenario of that happening. But let's back up to where we were in the plot.
yeah, because we jumped ahead. Okay, so before that, after the parent teacher meeting, there's a scene of Luke and Isabel at home having a little romantic dinner together. The kids are out with their mom, and he tells her he has to go on a work trip. And he's kind of like, oh, I don't want you to worry about watching the kids. I'm just going to have Jackie watch them. And she's kind of like, oh, you don't trust me with them. Like, you don't think I could do it. And he's like, okay, if you think you can do it, then do it. And he gives her a chance. And so, also during that scene, Anna keeps calling the house and just saying nothing. I don't really know what that was about. That was weird.
I assume she's calling because she's hoping her dad will pick up the phone
Yeah.
because she doesn't want to talk to her. But
yeah.
this is
Why
another
doesn't she
thing.
say, can I talk to my dad?
Yes, another example of they had the line of, you're my problem, and the hang up, and then they had to figure out how to get to that point. So they're like, oh, we'll just have her call and let the phone ring until eventually Julia Roberts gets mad and goes, what's your problem, asshole? So she can go, you're my problem. They just come up with a line and then they poorly reverse engineer how to get to that point. And
Yeah.
it's frustrating to me.
Do they ever explain why these two are dating?
Yeah,
Because it
no.
doesn't make sense to me.
What did Julia Roberts think she was getting in this situation that she thought it was so awesome to date this old man with two kids?
The new theme of this month, instead of fall movies, it's going to be young women dating really old guys that I don't understand why they're dating them.
For no reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the fall.
That's a new theme. Some of them are in the fall, some of them are not.
If you think about it, Phantom Thread was almost the exact same timeline of leading up to Christmas and then it ending right when Christmas was over, which is exactly what happened to this movie. It was almost the exact same time. They just didn't show a lot of leaves.
I also liked, so there was a scene where the dad, Luke, is in the park with the kids. They're like putting off a little sailboat thing in the lake. And he tells them that Isabel's going to be watching them while he's out of town. And Anna's like, well, I don't know. I don't trust her. What if she starts a fire? And he's like, well, just keep an eye on her and make sure you keep a fire extinguisher nearby. I thought that was funny. Nice. Makes them feel like he like cares about what they have to say and like makes them feel like they're a little bit in control.
Like every interpersonal scene, everybody's such a good actor. It's doing such a good performance that they're almost getting away with it. Like they're almost getting away with all of this shit. And then when you just stop and think about it for 2 seconds, you're like, what the fuck is going on? But they're all good. Like they almost saved the movie for me. Like their performances by how good they are. But yes,
dad.
I Ed Harris fucking rules. And and I mean, and it looks great. Like it was shot fucking amazingly. It's an amazing looking movie.
You seem like a sane, chill guy.
Yeah,
laid back.
Like too sane, too normal. Everybody's too normal and too nice. That's the problem. Is there's
just
there should be this much conflict happening when everybody's being so nice to each other. There needs to be more.
Okay. I'm gonna keep saying I don't think that Jackie was very nice throughout this movie. I think she was a good mom. I think that like what you were saying about her telling Anna like, oh, don't say you hate her, or, like never say never. I think she didn't want her hateful attitude to rub off on her kids because she loves her kids and doesn't want them to be hateful people. But I think that like she was being kind of a bitch.
Yeah,
throughout the whole thing.
Definitely very passive aggressive. Throughout the whole thing, and I think that it made Isabel just feel like shit all the time.
She's the one who kicked him out of the house.
Dude, for real, let's not go into that.
I just think this movie would have made a lot more sense if he had left her, if they had like a better marriage and he cheated on her and like left her for like a younger woman, like a secretary or somebody he met, like an art student or something. It just would have fixed a lot of problems with this movie rather than her kicking him out of the house for working too much and then him after the fact, like getting into a relationship later. I just feel like a lot of the problems with this movie would have been lessened by if it was more a traditional, because then there'd be a reason more for all this conflict.
She was angry because I think she realized this is his first long-term relationship since they divorced, and she's also half his age, almost around that, so she says, and I think she's realizing this is like more serious, and she doesn't trust her, and I think that's why she's so angry and passive aggressive the whole time. It's not just like for no reason, and it's to be implied that they got into some sort of argument and they had a bad relationship because he was not being an attentive husband, and that's why she kicked him out. She wasn't just like, oh, I don't love you anymore, I'm gonna kick you out.
But they were an older couple, clearly, who had been married a long time before they had kids. And because they met in college. So they're both like 50 years old and they have a like 7-year-old. And I mean, that can obviously happen because it happened to me. but it seems strange for her to kick him out for not doing anything. But, whatever. I guess people just grow apart and it's fine. It seems like they have a good relationship. Like, basically, they're friends. Like, he has the whole
Yeah.
thing later on the movie, like, we're really good friends. And so they're trying to have it both ways throughout the whole movie, where like they have this great like friend relationship post getting divorced, but then she just does all this spiteful, mean shit that just doesn't seem in character for her, other than they need to do it in the movie because it's like one dude was writing like this whole thing about how they're the dialogue of how they're all friends together and everything, and then some other guy was writing the plot points about what needs to happen. So they're like, well, I guess she's got to be a bitch now and get
Well,
really
yeah, but
mad at him.
you can obviously tell that she's still hurt about it, even later on, jumping forward for a second, when he tells her that he's going to propose, she gets upset and is like, "Why do you think this relationship's gonna work, but or ours didn't, or whatever, something along those lines." So she's obviously still hurt about it.
Yes.
It's not like everything's okay. She's just. That's what I'm saying. That it's not like they're not giving no reason as to why she's acting like that.
I think I missed it. When does it say like that she kicked him out?
When he goes over to the house after she threatens to call a lawyer,
That's right.
and they're outside of her house.
He's like, you kicked
I
me
do feel like
out.
it would have made more sense if it was more of like a. But if it had been a situation where he cheated on her and got into this relationship immediately or whatever, like I think she wouldn't have been able to have the kind of decent relationship that she has with him as a
Exactly.
co-parent, and it would have been like a much more messy, maybe she would have just tried to get full custody from the get-go kind of situation. I think it had to have been something where they just didn't work anymore. And I think that it's like to be said that she does put like her kids are her whole life. They are her everything. They are like all she cares about. But for him, work is clearly very important. Anna says at one point in the next scene, actually, which they're over at their dad's and their dad's out of town and Isabel's watching them and she's trying to make it fun and she gets them a puppy.
Yeah, that
which
part
is crazy.
So fucking insane. Like, who
Do you
just
think that she
is
asked
the
Luke if she could get them a puppy? Or do you think she just got a puppy?
I almost fucking literally shit myself when she brought that puppy out. Who fucking does that? How is that justified in the context of this
I
movie?
want you guys to like me, so I'm gonna get you a puppy. It would have worked on me.
That's something that an insane person would do. And she's not an insane person. Only the biggest moron who doesn't know their head from their ass would think it was a good idea to get a puppy.
I don't think she was insane. I think she was desperate. I think
Yeah,
she was
and to play
desperate to
devil's
do anything to
advocate
make them.
for the movie, I think what they were trying to get across by this is, yes, it was kind of stupid, but she doesn't know anything about kids. She's had no interactions with kids in her entire life. She didn't want kids again, and in her brain, I'm assuming they were thinking, "Oh, well, what do kids like? They like puppies, so I'm going to get them a puppy because I'm desperate." I think that's
Yeah.
the justification, and that
I
makes
want them to
sense to
like me
me.
so
It was
bad that I'm gonna do
insane.
something crazy.
And also, what happened to the
Some.
puppy after? Because I never saw that puppy again until
No,
like
you see the puppy
what
again. You do.
one time, but it's like
At
way
Christmas, and
too
it's
much.
older.
It's too much older, I feel like.
No, puppies grow up fast.
She has the puppy at
the
the
park.
photo shoot in the park.
Oh, they did? I didn't see
Yeah.
that.
But then the puppy's not there. And then I guess at Christmas time, but there's a whole chunk, and then they're just always leaving. Like, and
Yeah.
that house is covered in rabbit and dog shit.
No, it's not.
Maybe they have
Okay.
a maid.
And
They
then
don't because they didn't do the laundry. Never mind.
and then anyway, so Anna
No,
says,
she's like,
I'm allergic to
I'm
dogs.
allergic.
And then Isabel's like, well, your dad didn't tell me that. And she's like, well, my dad doesn't know me very well. So
'Cause he's
what I was
never
trying to say
here.
earlier is like, I think that's a thing. Like Jackie, her kids are her whole life, and the dad is like, he's not a bad dad. He's a good guy, but he's so focused on work, and now he's focused on this relationship with Isabel, and like he loves his kids too. But I think that Jackie holds these standards for herself, and she expects them from Isabel and Luke as well, that they have to make the kids their everything. When they don't, it like frustrates her. And so
Yeah.
that's how Anna feels. She's like, oh, my dad doesn't know me that well, which is not true. Her dad knows her very well, but that's just how she feels because that's the vibes her mom is giving up, and she's like eating up that energy from her mom. There's a line she says later, and I was going to bring it up later, but I might as well bring it up now, where she's in the car with her mom and she's talking about Isabel, and she's like, if you want me to hate her mom, I will. And I just thought that was such a good line. Like, Anna loves her mom so much,
I
and
think
she
that was the
wants to show
brother.
The brother
loyalty.
says that was the brother that said that
The
when
brother
they're
said
riding
that?
horses.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was the brother when they were all riding
What?
horses.
I don't know if it was when they were riding horses. I don't remember, but I
No,
do
it
remember
was.
it was the brother.
I just finished it right before we got to started recording,
I
and it was
swear Anna said that in the car with her. I just watched it again.
no, it was
I don't know.
the brother said it while they were riding horses. All three of them were riding horses, but still, very. I mean, your point still stands because he's just trying to please mom.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're just trying to. They care about their mom so much, and they want to show that loyalty to their mom.
Mm-hmm.
But the next scene is so it's her in bed reading him the story, and then he makes her drink the cocoa, and then she
Cocoa
falls asleep reading.
sleeping spell.
And she falls asleep, and he's oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I killed her, and he's so excited that he killed her.
Yeah.
And if it was like I put her, that's another thing. Like it's like, oh, I made her fall asleep. She's like Sleeping Beauty. It worked. She's asleep. I succeeded. But he is super jacked that he fucking killed her.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
That
This
part
makes
I was
no
like,
goddamn
there's no
sense.
way.
It doesn't make any sense.
In the when they're at the park for that photo shoot later, I did write down, he's like, kill her, and then he makes a fart noise and he's like, kill her. You remember that?
Yeah. He's crazy.
I do. This kid is
He's crazy.
But he's it does
so then Isabel brings the kids over the next morning to Jackie's house, and Anna's in a mood, and Jackie notices it immediately, and she's like, oh, what happened? Why is she being like that? And Isabel's like, oh, she saw Luke and me in the shower this morning. This was an interesting scene. I don't know what the point of it really was, but
you skipped over the horse riding lessons part where she gets mad at her for you're half an hour late for horse riding lessons. She's like, well, they're not until Tuesday, and then she's except on every other Thursday, and then in November they're on Tuesday. This whole thing is like another thing of why isn't this stuff being effectively communicated to her in advance, and why isn't she, if it's such a big deal, how come the daughter doesn't know about it? Why isn't she telling her, oh, tomorrow's my writing lesson? Like, nobody, it's just going to prove by like theory that they're just coming up with these things that have to happen, but not justifying why anyone would do it. Like there needs to be a reason why nobody is trying to help anybody else out, because they are all, again, they're all being nice to each other in general, but then just things like that'll happen where in this relationship with every other thing else they're doing together would lead you to believe that they would be communicating and telling each other and like supporting each other to make sure things happen and get done to take care of the kids, because she's such a good mom, that she would be sure to call her, be like, hey, don't forget that during this particular week the writing lesson is a different day, so be sure to get here on time. Because what they're, I guess, essentially saying is that Susan Sarandon knows that she's going to fuck up and is sabotage her and make her look bad, but I don't think she would do that to her own kid, because it's affecting her own kid at the same time by making her missing her horse riding lesson. So just the justifications of things just don't make sense to me, and they keep hitting me in the face every time they happen, and I don't like it. Yes, you're right. Then they get into the whole thing about she walks in on Susan Sarandon or on Julia Roberts fucking her dad in the shower,
and Jackie's like, well, did you talk to her about it? And Isabel's like, well, no, I thought it would be uncomfortable for her. And Jackie said, you mean for you? And I just want to say she ate with that.
Yeah, but Julie Roberts also has a point. It would be like it's not really
Well,
her.
okay. Well,
Oh,
yeah,
why don't they? And why aren't they locking the bathroom door when you got little
true.
kids
But
there and you're banging in a shower? Lock the bathroom door.
well, I don't think that they said that they were banging. Maybe it was implied, but they didn't say that they were actually like actively banging.
No,
They were
because
just in the shower together.
when they had that conversation, I mean, she could be referencing another time, but she's like, why does when Susan Sarandon eventually talks to her that night about it, when she has the
Mhm.
conversation about when
Mhm.
Daddy was washing her in the shower, what do you think they're doing, or what was it about? She's like, sex, of course. And then
Sex,
she
of
goes,
course.
why does she scream when they're having sex? Remember when she said that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
And she
don't
goes, how do you
understand the
know
point
they're?
of
How
this
do you know
part.
that? She's like, well, we're in the same house, or like we're in the same country. She says some snide remark about like she's so loud that
Mhm.
then it just cuts. But
Ugh.
so
Yeah, true.
who doesn't? If you're going to be in the shower with your girlfriend, you got to lock the bathroom door. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe
And
don't do it while they're there.
yeah, just
Or
again another weird thing that got shoved in that's out of character.
but it doesn't it was just very unnecessary. Like they could have cut that. It wouldn't have changed the movie even a little
Right.
bit. So it was just kind of a weird thing to
It's like
add.
they had to get the daughter's little like line in there about screaming and having sex and whatever she said. I
Mhm.
forgot the exact line, but it was like a zinger burn, at the end. Like when
It's
Susan
like,
Sarandon got the like, if you like big teeth, like they got to get these burns in there, and then they have to like
yeah.
reverse engineer what happened to get to these burns. Like they come some one of the six writers came up with a clever line, and they're like, "How are we going to get that in there? Let's reverse
Yeah.
engineer some weird scenario to get this line in there."
It's also just like we get it. We get that it's different there than it is here. You know what I mean? Like it's different at their dad's house. They're so focused on their relationship there and they're not super focused on the kids only. We get it. Um but there's a point and I don't know if my notes are getting mixed up, but there's a point when Isabel gets a call while she's at work from the school and they're like, "Hey, Jackie hasn't come to pick up Anna and Ben. Can you come?"
Yeah,
Which now that I think about it, why'd they call her? Why didn't they call
exactly.
Ben or
They were trying
Luke?
to
I mean,
they did
why
call
didn't?
Luke, and she's like, "No, this is me at my work. Like, where did that phone
Mhm.
number come from? Who got that phone number? Like,
Who
how's
got
the
that phone
school have
number?
has her work phone number? Makes no
I
sense."
mean,
But she
kind of
goes
weird.
there. She shows up at school, brings them some chips, and they sit there
They can have
and have
one chip
one
each.
chip barbecue,
One
and
chip.
they go, "It's not like mom to forget picking us up." And she's like, "Actually, it was me. Your mom asked me to come and get you guys, and I forgot about it." And then two
I know.
seconds later, mom shows up,
Right.
and
And they
then
don't care
they
because it's mom's here, so they
right.
let that go. But I was like, so this is what I'm saying. Like, Jackie's such a bitch because literally she left work, got in trouble for leaving work to come pick them up, took the fall for Jackie not being there on time and her kids being upset, literally took the blame, put it on herself, and Jackie didn't even say thank you for showing up. Didn't even talk, didn't even look at her.
No,
Just
and
took the
didn't
kids and
go.
left.
I didn't, and there was never any explanation of why she was late
Mm-mm. I'm
because
assuming she was at an appointment.
no, because she hadn't
Or
got the cancer diagnosis yet. That
But,
comes
but
later.
they had to
we
have the
hadn't
appointment
seen
to
it.
do it.
But you had to,
To
yeah, you had to have
see.
the. She was probably like getting her initial testing or whatever.
Oh, I suppose, but she didn't even say
Yeah, or
anything
she
like,
was just running late. She was
or she
like,
didn't
you
go,
know,
"What are you doing here?" Or like, "How did you know
she
that they
didn't
were like,
any
oh,
of
they
that.
called you?" There
Yeah,
should
that
have
was
been
weird
some,
that she didn't
yeah.
say
It was
anything.
all just
She didn't say a
weird.
word, but it was because she was being a bitch.
It
She
wasn't, or
didn't.
is it just bad editing and bad
No,
storytelling? Like,
no. I'm
it's
telling you,
hard to
they did
tell
that on
when,
purpose. Like she does not respect her at all, and so
yeah,
she
I
doesn't. She doesn't
know.
respect her, so she doesn't talk to her. And but then later she asks her to is that when she asks her to take them with her to the park
Yeah.
like because she
Well,
has another
there's,
appointment and then we have the whole park scene that we've talked about.
there's a part where, and I forget when it was, but Julie Roberts is in the dark room developing photos at her work,
Yes,
and she
which
just and a
why did
knock on the
how did
door.
Jackie know where she was?
Exactly. She's like, "Come on," and then come in, and then it's her. and she's like, I have a to help my friend move or whatever. I need you to watch them. It's like, how the fuck did you just went to wherever her office is to her and walked in all the way to the office? You don't they don't have phones. Clearly somebody has her phone number to the office because the school called it. Like you had to make this whole special trip to go into a dark room.
True.
It's again, they're like dark room scene at her work. Got to be in this movie no matter what. Who gives a shit if it makes any fucking sense at all? But yeah,
I did
she
think
couldn't
that. I was
call.
like, how'd she know where she was? I was like, did she have a dark room in her house? Is
That's what
that
I
what's
thought. The
happening?
first time I watched
But
it,
that
I
doesn't make
assumed it was at the
sense.
house. I thought it was in the loft. I thought she turned something in her loft, but she does make a point
I'm like,
about she goes, I already got in trouble for having to leave early here when the school called here. Like she was
yeah.
definitely in the office. It was at work when in that
Yeah.
dark room.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe Susan Sarandon's an old school lady. She likes to talk in person, so she went to her work, and they were like, she's in the dark room.
I mean,
You go in
clearly that's
there.
what happened, but why? Why did that happen?
But then also in the scene in the dark room, she agrees to take the kids to work with her, and then she says, "Oh, also, I really want to take Anna to this Pearl Jam concert. Can I
Was
take
that in the
her?"
same dark room? Is that the
Yeah,
same
and
scene?
that's the same scene. And Jackie's like, on a school night? Absolutely not. She's too young. Like, no. And again, Isabel feels defeated because she's trying to find ways to bond, and she knows that Anna likes Pearl Jam, and her mom shoots her down. So, not even giving her a chance.
Like you would think that for the well-being of her own children, because there's never a point where I guess we are to understand that Susan Sarandon just wants her ex-husband to be single and have these kids and for them to share custody, for him to never be in a relationship with anyone, because
I don't think it's
she
that. I
keeps
think he just
no
doesn't
because she
like
seems,
her.
but why she's trying, and if she wants the best thing for her kids, at least Julie Roberts is putting in an effort. So why is she so against
I think that the
being on
way
her
that
side?
their relationship is going is pretty realistic, I would say.
No, I agree that as far as the plot points of their relationship is extremely realistic, but it's all the other things that are just like a step behind in the background don't match up with what how are happening in the plot points.
Yeah.
The justification for the plot points just never line up for me in this movie. So it just
I
gives me
think
an uneasy feeling through the whole thing.
I think that Susan's whole character arc is that, she cares so much about her kids, but like in the beginning she cares so much about her kids that she lets things get in the way of her kids' well-being, and she doesn't really see that. Like, for example, like talking shit about Isabel in front of them. Not comfortable for your kids. It's really uncomfortable for kids to be put in the middle of parental drama and relationships. But like, she doesn't see that in the beginning. She only sees like, well, I care about them, and so I'm gonna, talk my shit about Isabel because I'm a good mom and she's not. And then with, the next scene when she gets her cancer diagnosis, she's like, now she's really revved up of like, well, it's unfair. It's unfair that I am sick and I might die and I might never get to see my kids again. And Isabel gets to have it. She gets to have my husband, who is so committed to her, maybe more committed to her than he was to me. She gets to have my kids. She gets to have, the rest of their lives. And I've just been trying my best to be a good mom. And now I have cancer. And that's what I get for being a good mom, right? And then it arcs into eventually realizing that because she loves her kids so much, the best thing that she can do is form a good relationship with Isabel, form a good relationship with the dad, like an even better one, and realize that by letting her kids have this relationship with her, that's the best thing that she could do for them. And that's how she can truly love them, kind of thing.
Yeah, but I feel like you're doing a lot of work for the movie. Like they didn't really just that's clearly what they're doing and what they're going for, of course. But they're not laying the groundwork to get to there in a satisfying way.
Yeah.
But we'll get to it. I would keep saying that on this one. But there's
Okay.
the whole but you're right, to counteract that, the whole part where she takes her to the Pearl Jam concert in a total backstabbing move was way
Mhm.
too far into that conversion than it should have happened, because they were already getting along and having a good time
They were
together and
starting to, yeah.
starting to, and then she just does this total sabotage move for no reason.
Well, I think it kind of like fell back because of the cancer diagnosis. I'm trying to remember exactly where it's at, but I remember thinking that too. But like things are starting to get better. Isabel's like showing up more, and I think that she appreciates that, and so it's starting to get better. But then once she gets like that the cancer is like pretty bad, I think she starts to get that feeling again of like, this is fucking bullshit, because I think she's just, I don't know. You know what I mean?
I do. I get what the whole thing that the thing's going for.
So
And
she's
I
like getting jealous again. It's like a jealousy. And so she takes that Pearl Jam concert because she's like, I deserve that Pearl Jam concert because I don't know how much longer I'm going to have with my daughter. So I get to have that.
why
Total,
did they
total
could have
bitch
just gone
move.
together. Yeah.
Total bitch move. Yeah, they could have just gone together, but then we wouldn't have the movie. If we didn't have tensions. Okay, so she finds out she has cancer, and she doesn't want to share the news with her family initially because she doesn't want them to worry. She's gonna try doing chemo, and she tries to tell Luke. Okay, this is
And
something that happens in movies all the time, and I've been meaning to say something about this because it's always, always, always bothered me when this happens in movies and TV. Okay, the I need to tell you something important. Wait, I also
I
need
have
to tell you
something to
something
tell you
important.
too. Yeah.
Okay, you go first. And then they tell them, and they're like, oh, by the way, what did you want to say? And they're like, oh, nothing. What do you mean, oh, nothing? You came to this because you wanted to talk about, what do you mean, oh, nothing? You're just going to let that go?
Yeah. It makes
That
no
doesn't,
sense.
I hate when TV and movies do that because it is so unrealistic. Like, I would be pressing you,
Yeah.
like,
It's like we are
you
having a whole fancy dinner together
to have
and
this
to
conversation.
have this conversation. And
And you're
he's
just,
just
oh,
like,
nothing.
oh, okay, whatever.
And they just
I
go on living
called
their life. It
you.
happens every time.
I called you to this dinner for absolutely no reason. It's not that big of a deal. Like I couldn't. It was such an unimportant thing that, but I needed to meet you at dinner. It's so nuts. It's fucking
And
nuts.
even if there wasn't a whole dinner about it, you see shows where like, people are just like passing each other in the hallway or something, and it's like, oh, I need to tell you something. Oh, wow, I need to tell you something too. Okay, you go first. And then just, oh, what did you want to tell me? Oh, nothing. It's not important. Okay, then what was it? Just say it. Pisses me off, but they did
I
that in the
forget. I
movie.
don't know. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
madness. It's all madness.
But he tells her that he wants to propose to her, and they have the whole conversation about that. Um, and then he's like, "Oh, I want us to tell the kids together because it will be easier for them." And then she says, "For them or for you?" She's clocking that T again. And then, yeah, she doesn't end up telling him about the cancer.
Yeah, and this is when she goes, "What makes you think that it'll work this time? This marriage will work,
Mhm.
and ours didn't." That was when she had
Mhm.
said that. Was at dinner,
Yeah. Yeah.
which that I'll give the movie some credit. That would go a long way with sidetracking the conversation and make him not press her on what the original intent of this whole dinner was for. Because he
Yeah.
probably just wants to get the fuck out of there and he's probably like, fine, whatever, I don't give a shit. Whatever we're here for,
Yeah.
I'm out. Peace out.
Or yeah,
And is
like
it?
maybe you just forget about it entirely, but when you bring it up again, like, yeah. So then we have the proposal scene, which is just them in bed, and he hands her the little ring box with the spool, the spindle. What's it called, Jaden? The little
The
thread spool?
oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That is right. Yes.
I don't sew. I don't know.
Oh, I thought
Um,
there was like some sort of special name for something.
Jaden knows how to sew, so I ask her. But he opens it. It's the little spindle thread, and he like goes into this long thing about how his past marriage didn't work and something
Yeah, who
about
bring
the thread. And then he puts the ring on the thread. I thought it was cute, but
oh,
why in
okay,
bed?
I'll grant you that the little string thing was cute or whatever under the finger, but who brings up their past marriage for a 95% of a proposal, talking about how shitty they were at being married before, and just why talk about it at all? It doesn't make. Oh, I'm just like, shut the fuck up, dude. Just be like,
Yeah.
just say the part about her. Don't bring up how bad you were at a previous marriage. And the whole thing made me want to. It was very treacly, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. But I get it. I get what the movie
Yeah.
is, so I'm not going to hold that kind of shit
I
against
get what
it.
the movie is.
I get what
know
the
what this
movie
is
is, so
about.
I'm not going to judge that stuff too hard. But I did think it
Um,
was a bad move. This is more of a. I think it's sort of intentional that he talks all about, his previous relationship and everything, and that it's supposed to
mhm.
be a bad move, maybe, and that
Yeah.
he's kind of a dummy. I don't blame that on the writers of the movie. I think it was intentional character decision. So
Yeah.
I'll give this part. I'll
Um,
give this scene a pass. I'll pass.
okay, good. Um, and I actually don't know if it was right before he actually proposed or if it was right after, but Jackie and him do sit down with the kids and explain that they're getting engaged, and the kids are not happy about it. Anna's crying. But Susan's, she's telling her it's going to be okay and, saying positive things. So she's coming around. And I think she is starting to like realize that, Isabel's not going anywhere and it's best for her kids if she just kind of goes along with it. Um, and I think it works because over the next, however many scenes, we start to see the shift in the kids' relationship with Isabel. Like Jackie and Anna are trick or treating. Anna's dressed as Elvis. Don't know where Ben is, but Jackie made her
Who
this Elvis
cares?
costume that was crazy.
Yeah,
And
we'll just take
um,
the older kid, and the mom will be in costumes, but not the 7-year-old. Who gives a shit
we don't
about
even know
him?
where he's lost again.
Yeah.
So, but Anna starts telling her mom that she actually thinks that Isabel's kind of cool. Like she listens to cool music and blah blah blah. And then there's a scene where they're driving. Isabel and the kids are driving and listening to music, and Anna puts on her lipstick, and she's like, she's coming around for sure. And I think Ben's just naturally coming around because he's a kid, and he just kind of, I think he's just playing off of the vibes of everyone else. If everyone
Well,
hates her, he hates her. If everyone likes her, he likes her.
yeah. And to speak on the putting on the lipstick scene, because remember she goes and drops her off at Susan Sarandon's, and she's got the lipstick on, and she basically
And she
calls her a
calls her a
whore.
harlot. Yeah.
Yeah, you street walker, a
But
working
why was
girl.
the lipstick a completely different color on her versus Isabel? When she was putting on the same lipstick, but it was a completely different color.
AIDS. They didn't want to
I don't
get.
know, but I
They didn't
clocked
want to
that too.
share. They didn't want to get AIDS.
And then this is the moment where, okay, so Jackie says, I normally only see that color on,
Street
whatever she
working
Working
says.
girls.
woman,
She calls
Working women,
working
working
yeah.
girls.
girls, or something.
And then also, this is when she reveals that she's gonna take Anna to the Pearl Jam concert. And Isabel is just like completely blindsided by that and just tells her, have fun. So Jackie's still being kind of a cunt here.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, it's a really good idea. Like, why is there no pushback on this? Why does Julie Roberts not say?
What's
I
she
mean,
supposed
there's
to
just
say?
I know, but
You know,
she
she's
could have
not
been
gonna
like,
like ruin it for.
but she could have just like softly said, "You fucking cunt." Like she should have said something, just like bitch.
Yeah, definitely. But I think that that's kind of something about Isabel's character is that she always does think about the kids first. Even though she's not the best about being a mom, she doesn't really know how to be a mom and always know what the right thing is. But one thing she always does is she always puts them and their like feelings first, or you know what I mean? Like for example, with the when Jackie was late to pick them up and she was like, "Oh, it was actually my fault," because she knows how much her kids love Jackie and how disappointed they would be if Jackie forgot them. So she puts them first and their feelings first and makes that up so that they don't feel like their mom forgot about them. Like would assume that she forgot about them,
Yeah,
but never
Susan
their mom.
Sarandon is the villain in this movie. She sucks.
No, I'm just trying to say, like, I think that that's something that maybe Susan admires about Julia Roberts, her character.
Maybe in the last 5 minutes of the movie, but it takes her to
It takes her a
being
long time.
it takes her nearly being dead of cancer for her to have her character arc finally turn over and where she turns into a good person.
Okay. Before we
I
get to that,
disagree.
What
we
was that,
start to
Jade?
see.
I disagree.
Oh, you disagree. Okay.
I don't
Do you
think
want
there's
to
a single
elaborate?
thing that we agree on.
What?
I said I don't think there's a single thing that you and I agree on.
Like, at all in life.
In
Ever.
life, in this movie, especially.
Well, that's good because that makes for good podcasting. If we disagreed on everything, we would just be doing Chris Farley in Saturday Night Live, which I just realized you guys don't know what that means. So look it up.
I know a little bit. So we see some scenes now. There's like a bunch of random scenes, like of that, and then of Jackie just trying to be a good mom still while
They're
being
at the
secretly
soccer
sick.
game. They're
Talking to
getting
Ben on the
along.
phone. We'll meet in our dreams. I think this is, one of the scenes where they go horseback riding, and that's the "I'll hate her if you want me to."
It is, yeah.
And just a few things to kind of show. And then there's a scene where Ben like falls on the playground, ends up in the hospital, which I was like, kid just got the wind knocked out of him. Like, stand up.
Oh, this was another completely, and this is a nitpick thing. I'm not going to hold it too much against it, but she's still filling out the paperwork when dad comes back and Harris comes back and it was 5 stitches. He's fine. And she's still just filling out the intake paperwork and they haven't got the insurance yet. Like, yeah, I'm sure that a hospital in New York, an ER in New York has already stitched up this kid before the paperwork's filled out. Very realistic.
I can agree with you on the scene that this is a very obvious. They were like, we need Ben to connect with her somehow.
Yeah.
And they make this whole situation just so she can sing to him for 10 seconds.
Yeah, a whole reverse engineered scene.
Whole thing.
Yes.
I see it in that for sure. I thought that was a little bit much. But that does happen. And
certainly does.
I think that Ben bonds with her a little bit there. And then Isabel picks up Ben from a birthday party. And she can't remember the address, so she has to call Jackie. And Jackie's been telling Isabel that she's doing stuff at work again, even though she hasn't worked.
You're blowing past a very important scene.
I am.
Yes, Julia Roberts has her window rolled down while she's looking at the piece of paper with the address written down on it, and it blows out of her fucking window in yet another movie.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Shit blows out a fucking window because people are so stupid that they can't
hold stuff out the window.
It couldn't be that she spilled coffee on the piece of paper and she can't read it. It always has to be that she's such a moron that she has her window rolled down in the middle of the fucking winter.
And then she calls her work, and the lady's like, "Just look for balloons, you'll find it."
She doesn't even call her work. She's
on the freeway.
Yes, she calls information for the publishing house that she said that she was having an interview at, because Susan Sarandon says that she's talking to her old boss about going back to work. That was her justification. So she just calls information and says, "Can I have the phone number for Macmillan?" And then she immediately gets connected with the publisher of Macmillan, because she starts saying, "Hey, can I talk to Susan Sarandon?" She's in there to meet with the publisher. She's like, "I'm the publisher and I've been here for 10 years and she hasn't worked here for 10 years. And that's how she finds out that she isn't working there.
Has been lying. But she doesn't immediately realize why she's been lying until she goes, drops off Ben from the birthday party to Jackie's house. And then Jackie again completely ignores her.
Yes, doesn't.
The mail was sitting there right on top.
Well, no, she does say, "Did you have any trouble with my directions?" So she does have a
Later.
little conversation with her. No, that's
She
right when they get out of the car. No, you're right.
No,
It was when they
that's
come
when
back.
she comes
No.
back.
You're right.
She comes back because I'm like, I remember being like, man, she is still just giving her the cold shoulder, just ignoring her. Like
She's smoking a J. She's smoking a doobie that she lights
Oh.
up 2 seconds as they're rolling the cars coming down the driveway. She
Yeah.
she sparks a fucking J like she wasn't doing it the whole time. All the kids have gone. She waited until 2 seconds when the kid's showing up.
Yep. And then so Isabel sees the mail and she thinks that Jackie's plan is to take the kids and move across the country.
And then
Right.
Jackie just goes along with it, arguing with her about something that she knows isn't even the case.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so funny to me.
Well, she didn't want to admit anything yet, but
yeah. And I think she just thought it was so ridiculous that she thought it was funny to argue with her about it. But then she's like, you guessed the wrong secret, and then reveals what's been going on with her medically to Isabel.
Well, there's the whole part that I thought was actually a pretty good scene in this whole thing where she's going along and just saying, I can take the kids, I can do whatever I want. Everything will work fine. Bi-coastal parents, it works for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And then Julie Roberts, I thought, did a pretty good job of like saying, you can't take him away from them. He loves them. They're everything for him. And she's crying. And
yeah. He'll be devastated.
Julie Roberts is a
good.
good ass actor. She's a fucking good actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she is.
And so is Susan Sarandon. They're both really fucking good. And this movie, I would send you to jail for this movie if it wasn't for the three of them being so really good, such good actors.
Send you to jail.
I would send you to jail for making me watch this movie with the same everything being exactly the same plot, same dialogue with 3 other people. Would have been one of the worst things that's ever been made, but they're all so good that they are nearly pulling it off. And in this latter half, for basically the time you learn that she has cancer, there's much less annoying bullshit with plot stuff, other than there's a few things here and there, but I think it comes together and the whole overall movie is much better in the second half.
So after Isabel finds out the truth about Jackie's cancer diagnosis, Jackie goes ahead and tells everyone else. So she tells Luke, and Luke is like, we'll figure this out. And she's like, I appreciate the we. So they're still good friends. And she tells the kids, and Anna struggles with it more than Ben. Again, Ben is a child. I don't think he really grasps what's going on.
Yeah, he's like, is cancer contagious? I thought that was pretty funny.
It's like, damn.
All he cares about is himself.
I know, selfish. And yeah, Anna struggles with it. And then we get that scene with Ain't No Mountain High Enough. And Susan and Ben are just dancing around in the room. And that's the scene that I've seen definitely before I ever saw this movie. And Anna comes in and she's like, I'm sorry you're sick. And they have a bonding moment. And it's beautiful.
I'm sorry you're sick. What? I can't hear you. I'm sorry you're sick. What? I can't hear you.
I'm not sick.
But there's another part that's coming up here that pissed me the fuck off. But she goes to California, and then Julie Roberts is in charge of them for a little bit while she's getting.
Before she goes to California, though, she wakes up Anna in the middle of the night.
Oh, yeah. Right.
She wakes up Anna in the middle of the night and is like, do you want to go do something with me? It's snowing. And then she's like, I got a babysitter for your brother. In the middle of the night. Yeah. She couldn't get a babysitter other time.
That's the only time they ever got a babysitter was the middle of the night. Winter. Like 2 days before Christmas.
But the actual scene where they're riding the horses in the snow was actually really... Like, I was crying. I was sad.
Yeah, no, like I said, there's great stuff in this movie, like great scenes that look great and the acting's great. There's just, they needed to have somebody come in and like cohesively put this whole fucking movie together, like plot wise and script wise. And it would have been an all-time classic, I think. But
yeah,
there was the whole Thanksgiving
Play.
play, which was pretty good. That was some
With
good
Venice the
stuff.
turkey.
Yeah, and the
Clintons.
and the Clintons coming in. I thought that was good shit. Then when they shoot them with the gunpowder, they would never do that today. They would never let kids shoot. This was the year before Columbine, you know. They would never
Oh, yeah.
let kids shoot a
Damn.
turkey and have gunpowder popping out.
He played dead very
Never.
well.
He did.
But this scene was important because Isabel and Jackie were bonding, talking about Anna and that boy, and this is the first time we've ever seen them interact like that, like talk to each other like they were almost friends. So
Oh, that made me completely forget about the scene coming up, the last scene of contention. But so she goes off to California, and she's out of the picture for a while, and that's where Julia Roberts sets up the whole thing and tells her all the shit she should say to the boy who's an asshole, and that all happens.
But before that, she does talk to her mom about it, right? She talks to her mom first and then talks to Isabel. And her mom's basically like, just ignore him. Like, you're too good for him.
Take the high road.
He just wants attention. Take the high road and everything will work out. And Isabel, I think she tries to do that and it just keeps getting worse. So she opens up to Isabel one day after school and tells her what's going on. And Isabel gives her this like whole plan of all this stuff that she needs to say to this boy, and tells her that, I'm going to have a high school boy there for you, and you're going to pretend that you're dating this boy. And also, what do you think snow blowing is?
I assume that it is a blowjob with ice in your mouth.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's when you take a snowball, okay, and you put it in your mouth, and then you know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's when you snort cocaine off someone's dick.
Oh, that could be it too.
That's huge. I actually think that that's what it is.
I hope that's what it is.
In my heart, that's what it is.
But nobody, the 90s were
I'm going to look
low
it up.
point. There's a real low point in cocaine use, so I don't know how popular that would have been.
Oh my God, Jaden, that is what it is.
Yay! Wow.
I actually knew. I was just pretending I didn't know.
You've been living in LA for too long.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Wow.
I wish Eli was here. I want to ask him how you know about that.
Ew.
But I don't want to know the answer. So I'm glad Eli's not here. She does the whole thing.
Yeah, she does the plan.
And it's a pretty cringy scene overall, with all the kids going, yeah, you got her. Oh, snap. And all that. Oh, yeah, you go, girl. All that was pretty bad, I think. I don't think that was very well done at all. But it's effective, and it does work because everybody really likes her now. And then they have the little male model sitting over there with his ponytail.
That ponytail was gross.
So did this all happen before she goes to California, or after she gets back from California?
I don't remember. I think this was...
No, because it was right. She went to California like right after she found out about they told the kids about the diagnosis, I think, right?
Yeah, I don't remember anymore. But
there are so many
doesn't really matter. The only thing that I want to mention
twice.
No, this was before she went to California, because pretty much California, all this stuff happened before California. But there's the whole part where she says, Zada looks like a male model in his underwear for Abercrombie and Fitch or Calvin Klein, and then she's like, no, it was fully clothed for some other one, which I thought was a pretty good line.
Yeah.
And then they have their little argument about why she should have done it her way, and she's turning into you and yada yada yada.
Yeah, I think it was just another moment of feeling
But she goes
jealous
to California, and in this part, I don't know what happens while she's in California when she gets back, but they go to surprise her to pick her up from the airport, and she comes off in a wheelchair, and they're like, surprise, we came to get you at the airport. Who the fuck, how was she going to get home from the airport if nobody was picking her up? Like, how was that a surprise that they're picking her from the airport? Who else was going to be getting her at the airport?
Maybe she was going to take a cab.
Their dying mom of cancers coming back from getting like potentially maybe life-saving like treatments, but probably not. And they're just going to let her take a cab back from the airport.
Also, why was she in a wheelchair? But then the next scene, she's riding a horse.
Yeah.
Mm.
Again, they did not connect shit together that made sense. Like,
Yeah.
because the whole point of, because part of the surprise was when they came home, they had all the cutouts of the photos that they made, which is all very good moving scene. But why does picking her up from the airport have to also be a surprise? Why couldn't just that be the surprise? Why couldn't it been planned out? Again, it's like people plan this shit out. They plan and talk to each other. They don't just go, surprise, we're coming to get you from the airport. Like, ooh, you didn't know we were coming. Who else was coming to get her at the fucking airport? Of course, some. Or she didn't go, oh, I thought Bob, my friend, was coming to get me. And what did you talk to him? Like, they could have just, there didn't need to be anything about picking her up from the airport being a surprise. That just
They could have
didn't need
cut
to be
that whole
there.
scene out.
They could have, or they could have just had a montage of them getting her from the airport, and then like, we got a surprise for you at home, and then she goes in and sees all the cutouts, which is a very moving scene and very good, but they ruined it with the other part.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's the 90s. They didn't know how to make movies in the 90s, I guess.
Yeah. No, of course. So they do the photo shoot cutout, and I think that really moves Jackie, and because the kids are like, "Oh, Isabel did it," which I mean, obviously they didn't fucking do it.
Yeah, no
So
shit. I mean, this is basically, this is the scene, the point in the movie when she has decided that she's okay with her, and this is where she's nice to her, from where she quits being a bitch and they quit arguing. This is the point in the movie where their relationship is now good for the rest of the movie, and she's about 5 seconds away from dying.
And she asks if Isabel can take more pictures of them for whatever she's doing for them for Christmas. So she does, and there's all these scenes of them like getting pictures, they're ice skating and stuff, all these pictures with, you know, Jackie and the kids.
And then there's the montage of her making quilts, or one quilt and a cape for Christmas.
Yeah.
Which all this is all very nice and very well done. Like this whole, the whole rest of the movie is well done and nice.
And then we have this scene with Jackie and Isabel talking, and they're at a bar or a restaurant, a lounge, perhaps. And they're just talking about their fears and their regrets and their love for Anna and Ben. And this scene is a tearjerker. I thought it was.
It was.
Did you guys
horrible.
cry at all during this movie?
I was crying so much.
I didn't cry at this part.
That's crazy.
No soul.
You're so male-centered. It's insane. You don't give a shit about women.
No, I thought it was really well done. There was a part, I think I cried a little bit at the part when, and I guess that is male-centered, the whole part about when she went through the mail and they had the previous thing where she told her that she had cancer. When Julie Roberts was saying,
like,
literally male-centered.
So devastated.
Yeah, I guess that part made me sad. But and no, this part made me sad, and I thought it was really well done. But I didn't actually cry. But I was actually watching it on my phone as I was driving home from work. It was up on my car.
I was watching this with Hayden, and I started to tear up at the scene. I looked over, he was boo-hooing in the corner on the couch by himself.
Yeah, this part was crazy. Like I was really not have. I mean, this is the second time I've watched it, but I didn't remember that scene. And Jesus Christ, probably the best scene of the whole movie.
What'd she say? She said, "I have their past, and you can have their future."
No, that was good.
Or when she said, like, when Isabel was crying and she said, my biggest fear is that she's gonna be at her wedding and I'm gonna be doing her hair or something, whatever. And she's gonna,
and telling her she's so beautiful.
Yeah, and her one thought is gonna be, I wish my mom was here. And then she started crying, and then the mom, Jackie, was like, and my biggest fear is that she's not. That was like, oh my God.
I know. Tears. But I think, you know, this scene was important because it, you know, they were vulnerable with each other and they came to this understanding of each other, and mended their relationship. And then it's
Yeah.
Christmas.
And then we get the a couple of the worst presents that anyone with cancer has ever made. You know, those kids, they're going to be like 30 in their 30s, and they're going to find those in a box somewhere, and they're going to be like, this thing sucks shit.
No, oh my gosh, no. If my mom made me a quilt, especially like if if your mom like is sick and dies in the near future, like you're gonna cherish that fucking quilt
Yeah, I thought
forever.
it was actually really cool. Like it wasn't just like a regular ass ugly ass quilt. It had like special. I don't know. I
Yeah.
like the shapes that she did. It was really and the cape
I
was
would be
sick.
sleeping with that every night. And the kid loved the cape. That little magic freak. He loved it. Um
I'm
I
and
think
kidding.
I
there's
think
like
you're
the
a
really I
psychopath.
know. I know. There's something wrong with you. Um and she talks with them individually, and this is all very sad as well. She tells Ben that they can still meet in his dreams. So sad.
So sad.
And I'm tearing up
You
just
can
thinking about it.
tell. You can tell that
Um,
one of the writers, one of the 6 writers, was the one who was in charge of writing the end of this movie, and he was the best one
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
because it
Um,
turns into an actual like really good movie at the end. Like it's
I
all
know.
very well done, really good, and it's like, oh, where was this movie the last fucking hour and 45 minutes?
To be
And everyone
honest,
who was in it
if
was so good at acting. Even the kids.
hmm
Yeah, at the end they everything yeah, it totally for me turned around from being me
yeah,
wanting to blow my brains out for most of this movie to be like, oh wow, this is really good. This ending hits. This ending
I w-
is good.
I will say the first time I watched this, because Hayden said he liked this movie, and the first time we watched it, I remember like the first half thinking the same thing, like, why the fuck do you like this movie? Like this movie's just kind of, it's not like horrible. Like I don't hate it, but it's not
Yeah,
like
no, well,
I would never watch it again. But then after the end, I was like, okay, I get it. Um, I forget exactly what she says to Anna in the end. I remember like with Ben, like the we can meet in my dreams thing, but with Anna, I don't really remember
Well,
exactly. But
Anna comes in and she's like she's shows her the quilt and everything, and then
hmm
it gets silent and she starts crying and she says she's like, I'm not ready. And then she starts
yeah.
crying and she says,
Oh,
I know.
I know.
She's like, it's okay. It like I don't remember what else
I
she
don't
says
remember
after that.
exactly what is said, but I remember when they're doing okay, when the mom wakes her up in the middle of the night and they go horse riding in the snow, she says something about like something about saying never never.
oh, and then always, always.
Yeah.
And then yeah. And then that they bring that up again in this moment.
I think she also asks her if she's scared. And then she
Yeah.
says, um, yeah, that she kind of is. She
Yeah.
said she said she was scared. She was scared for them, but she's not scared anymore because she knows that she's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
She knows that Anna's gonna be okay. That's what she says.
Um and then
Then
they
the
all
dove.
take the
Oh,
dove. Okay,
they
how could I
ruin
forget about
everything
the
with the
dove?
dove.
How could I forget about what a crazy gift to give a child.
Bananas.
I mean, they gotta compensate.
This house is a zoo. They've got
It's
rabbits,
nonsense.
they've got dogs, and they've got doves.
This house is covered in dog
There's so
shit,
much shit.
rabbit shit, and bird shit.
The smell of this house is insane.
It's disgusting.
That's for sure.
But they do a little
Crazy.
they do a little slick move where they just give him the cage and he's like pissed. He's
like,
pissed that he didn't get a bird. Who expects
that's
to get a bird?
crazy. You gotta catch
He
it. You gotta
asked
go
for
catch it.
one.
You can have a
And
pigeon.
you do know that it's a dove.
I know. I told him. I was saying like he can go outside and catch a
Oh,
pigeon.
go catch a pigeon. You know
Yeah.
that for these tricks
It's
to work with the
tough.
disappearing doves is they kill the doves and crush them, and it's always a new dove.
What?
Like in the magic with the collapsing cages, when they put the doves in there, that they always get smashed. That's how they have like they go through doves like like one every time they do the trick in real magic.
Oh.
At least they used to back in the heyday of magic. Maybe they don't anymore, but Like the famous
Y'all-
collapsing where they make the cages collapse and the birds disappear. It's the bird just gets crunched up in the bottom of the cage and they throw it away and get a new duck for the next time.
My jaw has been hanging open for the last minute. That is so horrible.
I know.
I do not
You guys,
support magic
do you want to hear a
or
joke?
witchcraft.
A joke from, I remember 3 jokes from when I was in elementary
I
school
remember
that I didn't,
3 jokes.
3 jokes that I didn't know what they meant. And one of them is, if the dove is the bird of love, what, sorry. Let me start over. If the dove is the bird of peace, what is the bird of love?
What?
The swallow.
Okay. Gross.
Yeah, but I didn't get it when I was a kid. I didn't know what it meant.
Right.
Yeah.
What are the other 2?
Well, the other one was, if if you were on a bus of gay people, but it was the F word that was used in this joke, would you get off? So
Nice.
But and you'd be like, yeah, of course. And they'd be like, you fucking gay. You're like, what do you mean? I said I'd get off. And they're like, yeah, I know, you're gay.
So fucking stupid.
I know. I'm like, I don't know what this means.
Why would I get off
And
the bus just because there are gay people on it?
Right. No, well, yeah, no, that's not how it went. And what was the other one? Oh, it was like,
Well, big piece of shit.
the other one was homophobic. The other one was a handshake, and like, do you know that San Francisco handshake? And you're like, no. And then you would shake your hand, and they would use their middle finger to tickle your palm. I'm like, I didn't know what that meant either.
Stupid.
That's funny.
These jokes would have been good when we did that one movie.
I know, All of Us Strangers.
Yeah, should have brought it up then.
Well, the dove is what reminded me of that joke. So
I know.
Yeah.
Jaden, can you edit those in?
Yeah.
It's too late now.
I'll
Except repost again. But we do get the memorable scene where it all comes together and they're doing the family picture and Susan Sarandon's like, come on, you got to we want the whole family in here. And then she comes in and the picture
squeezes
her hand, and the picture when they do the little cutaway of what the actual picture looks like, it looks like shit. The lighting's all bad.
Yeah.
She's not a very good photographer.
I never thought she really was.
To be fair, she wasn't taking the picture.
True.
No, she set the timer on it.
Yeah, exactly. The timer took the picture.
But she set up the lighting and she got them all posed. It would have been the same picture. Ed Harris's whole face is in a big shadow, but I digress. That is the end of the movie.
That is
the end of the movie.
I was kind of hoping that there was a little bit more to the movie, like there would be maybe a scene about after Jackie
like
had passed away.
A montage of them all growing up
and how their life was, but I guess this movie was long enough.
It was very long. There should at least have been a scene of them lowering her into the ground, like the funeral, and then Julia Roberts like.
But then it wouldn't have left
flipping her off
on a good
flipping
note.
her off or doing something like just to prove that like she was faking it the whole time because she was dying of cancer and she really thought she was a bitch.
She's like on her deathbed. She's like, I win, bitch.
Yeah, I fucking hate you. I get everything. I get this house and the condo, the loft in New York. I get it all. It's all mine. I get the horse ranch. God, why didn't they have a fucking nanny? It makes no sense to me.
I don't know.
Why couldn't they hire a babysitter when she went to go do her photo shoot in the park? It makes no sense to me. But
let's do final thoughts and ratings. So, Dad, are you glad or mad that I made you watch this movie? And how many crushed doves would you get it? Yeah. Would you give it?
Crushed doves, is that my liking ranking or my fall ranking?
Both.
No, we have to have a separate one for fall.
Well, for fall, it's Crunchy Leaves.
Oh, every week is Crunchy Leaves?
It's Crunchy Leaves and crushed doves for this one.
All right. Well, I'm going to give it for its fallness, since there was a lot of fall in the movie and the poster of it is very fall. I'll give it 4 Crunchy Leaves. 4 Crunchy Leaves for its fall theme. And am I mad or am I glad? I am mad that I had to watch this because
you watched it twice.
Yeah. So much of it sucked shit. So much of the plot sucked shit. But
is this just payback because I was mad about Phantom Thread?
not entirely. Not entirely. Like I would never. I if this is one of those movies where if I even would have known about it, I wouldn't have watched it when it came out, and I don't regret never having watched it. I think I could have made it the rest of my life with never having seen this. There was some good performances. They all really, for the most part, knocked it out of the park with their performances. What they had to work with, they did the best they could. It looked great, shot on film, of course, and it looked really good. The direction was good. Just the script writing, the screenplay, and the plotting of the whole thing was just a goddamn abomination to movie making in general. And I just can't allow this movie to be deemed very important. I can't allow it.
You can't allow it?
I can't allow that to happen.
That depends on how many if you give it one crushed dove, I'm gonna be so pissed. Do not give it one.
I'm gonna give it 2.5 crushed doves for
that's crazy
for the acting and the ending.
The third dove is only partly crushed. He's in a wheelchair.
Yes.
Like Susan.
Getting lowered into the ground where she deserves to because she is a piece of shit. Kicking her.
Not Susan, of course.
She
Jackie.
kicked her pretty awesome husband, who is a lawyer, out of the house for no reason. And seems like a total bitch. She even admitted that she didn't give him a chance to become a good dad. She took the blame for the whole thing at that one point in the movie. So it's not like he was cheating on her or anything like that. So
it's the only reason to leave your husband, of course.
I know. I will never watch this movie again. I will never tell anyone to watch this movie. I will never want to be like, we gotta watch Stepmom. You're gonna love it. It's not gonna happen. No, it had its redeeming qualities, and I did like the performances, so I'll give it that. But I'm not actually mad. But it's on a binary, so I have to pick.
Right.
I pick.
I understand.
That I'm mad. Okay.
I when I was watching this, I was like, yeah, my dad's gonna be really pissed about this.
Yeah,
it's just not your kind of movie.
I know, but I like these kind of movies. Like I just recently watched When Harry Met Sally for the first time a few months ago, and I fucking loved it. I gave it like 5 stars, I think, on Letterboxd. So it's not.
But only when there's a male main character, though. That's the requirement.
No, it has nothing to do with that because you guys haven't watched it yet.
Recently, it seems a little bit like it is.
Well, sure, off of the ones we picked, but I gave Portrait of a Woman, Lady on Fire. Jesus Christ, my brain. I gave that 5 stars. It's one of the best movies ever made, and it's an 100% female cast about female shit, and it's amazing. So I'm not a misogynist.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt here that I think that it's totally fair to resonate with male characters when you're a man. Just like it makes sense that we resonate with female characters when we're women.
That just goes back to what I said when we were watching, I think, All of Us Strangers, is that men have so much less empathy than women do. Because I was crying my ass off at All of Us Strangers.
No, I would have. There was parts in here that got me misty-eyed, and I think the reason why I didn't cry at the end of this movie is because I was distracted, and I think I saw that scene, the scene where they were talking to each other that you guys were talking about, was I was getting logged in on my computer and finding out where you guys were, and I was just playing on my phone. So I was just watching it too, and I think I'd fallen asleep last night, and I didn't. That's why I was watching it again, because I woke up at some point and saw the end of it, but I think I missed that scene last night.
I feel like that scene, the performances were really good too.
It was more of that. I think this is a misogynistic movie because the filmmakers and writers and producers didn't put the effort into giving this movie the plot and storyline and script that it deserved for the whole previous movie leading up to the end. If they would have put in some effort and actually gave a shit about caring about the plot and giving justifications to really they just left the ending out to dry to be on its own. They're like, we're going to make this amazing thing with all these amazing actors and amazing performances, but we're going to just rat fuck it through the whole movie with shitty plot stuff. If they would have cared about women, if Hollywood cared about women, they would have made this whole movie good. So it just wasn't leaving the good ending out on an island. But I thought it was really, the performances were great and the ending was really good and it was very moving and very touching. They just fucked it over for the whole movie leading up to that.
Yeah.
And that, my friends, is my review. Jaden.
Very good. Jaden, are you mad or are you glad? How many crunchy leaves? How many crushed doves?
I would give it 4 crunchy leaves.
Okay.
Which is good.
Thank you.
That's how many I gave it.
I'm so curious what could be 5 crunchy leaves. Hocus Pocus?
When Harry
Would
Met
that be
Sally
5
is a
crunchy
5.
leaves? Yeah. I'll take
I think
4. 4 is good.
I think for Jaden, they have to build a fort out of fallen leaves, and the whole movie has to be shot in that fort.
It's really just about the vibe.
They have to be drinking pumpkin spice lattes in a leaf fort in the entire movie. That's what Jaden needs to give it 5 crunchy leaves.
I think it was a very fall movie. When it was fall, it was so fall. And I said that when I was watching the movie. I said, I saw all the colors. This is exactly what I want in a fall movie. But it wasn't like that all the time, which is fine. I mean, obviously, they couldn't have done that because then the story would have been like 2 months long. But it was very fall. And I would definitely watch this in the fall. I have watched it in the fall. So yeah, 4. I think 4 is good. And then I would say I'm mad about watching this movie because, not because I didn't like it. I do like the movie. But I had already seen it and I knew that it's a triggering ass movie. And I just don't like watching things that have to do with dying of cancer. And so for that reason and that reason only, it did upset me to have to watch this movie again because I knew what was going to come.
But I don't think
because you're a hypochondriac?
Yes.
Or okay.
So are we living in a podcast situation that you can be mad at watching the movie but give it a good rating?
Well, I gave it a 3.5 crushed doves. So I mean,
I feel like that's fair. Like, you wouldn't give it 5 stars and say you're mad. I think 3.5 crushed dove.
I think that I probably wouldn't watch it again because I've seen it twice. I'm not going to watch it again. And you're right, a lot of it was like, I don't understand why that happened, but the ending really did save it. So I'm kind of in between, and I feel like I'm not mad that I saw the movie. Like, it's not a bad movie, but I am mad that I had to watch it again and cry.
Interesting. All right. What we know that you're glad. Well, I don't know. Are you glad that you watched it again? Like, are you happy to have watched it again? Or are you mad that you picked? Are you mad that you picked this?
I'm glad that I watched it, and I'm glad that I picked it too because like you've never seen it, and you clearly had a lot to say about it. So
no, I did. It was a great movie for this podcast.
Yeah. So, and you know, like I thought about picking When Harry Met Sally, but to me it just felt a little like obvious of a pick. I feel like that's what everyone thinks of when they think of fall movies. So I feel like this was a little bit different. I don't think a lot of people have heard of this movie.
No, not at all.
That being said, I've now seen it 3 times, and I think, you know, it's not that I would never watch it again. It's just I don't think I'd go out of my way to watch it again. I think I got what I needed from this movie, which is like a good little tearjerker movie. Sometimes you just need a little cry, and that provided that. But you know, it's not my favorite movie in the world, but I do like. I'm glad I've seen it. So for fall vibes, I will also give it 4 crunchy leaves, and for my rating, I would give it 3.5 crushed doves as well.
Well, it clearly did not make it into the very important movie club.
I wouldn't say it's very important, but if you want a good little cry and you know you like movies like this that are like very family oriented, you'd probably like it.
Until they find out what a snowplow is.
A snowblow.
A snowblow
blowing.
Get it right.
Sorry.
Come on.
Never done cocaine, okay? I don't
Apparently
know.
You've never snow blown.
Never.
You don't even know what it is. You're like
not
that
even
kid.
Close. Not even close. I am that kid. What's a snowflake?
Fucking
I
loser.
will.
You don't even know what that is.
That one scene where Susan Sarandon was asking her what it was, and she's like, I don't know what it is, but it's real. Well, somebody told me about it. I verified that, so it is real.
Didn't she say she saw it in a movie?
Is that what she said?
Like, what
I think
movie would you have seen?
I think she was saying that she heard it in a movie. Not
Oh, someone
necessarily
said it in a
like,
movie.
yeah, not necessarily like watched a movie with that.
Okay.
I mean, maybe.
I hope so. Well, thank you all for joining us today. Thank you for being on this fall with me. Just kidding. Let's cut that. Stupid. Until next time, the movie that we're going to watch is Mona Lisa's Smile. Did I
Yeah.
remember that correctly? Which is also Julie Roberts and also a movie I've never seen and have absolutely no idea what happened. So,
Has a great cast.
well, so did this one.
Hell yeah.
But there's a lot
We
more
got
people
Kristen
in
Dunst.
that.
I'm
Well, I'm
excited
looking
because I've never
forward.
seen this movie.
Has Julia Roberts, Julia Stiles, Kristen Dunst, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Marcia Harden.
Marcia Gay Harden. Is that what you're trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she's good. All right. Well, I'm
Okay.
looking forward
Dominic
to it.
West.
Jennifer Goodwin. Is that how you say it? Jennifer?
I
Jennifer?
think
It is.
so.
It is Jennifer.
Also,
yes.
Topher Grace is
Jennifer?
in it.
That's random.
I think it's like
The guy from
We've-
The Bear.
We've been watching that
The
70s show, actually, because it's
cousin.
very fall vibes.
We've been watching Community.
Oh, really? We tried to watch Community and just could not get into it.
Weird.
Weird.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Very Important Movie Podcast. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get podcasts. And coming soon-ish, we're going to have a Patreon that you can subscribe to. I don't know what's going to be on there yet. We're going to have some lost episodes on there maybe, and some other fun little goodies if I get around to doing it. But until then, as always, please out.